In the energy quadrant, taking a look at the September crude oil futures contract, which is now down 2 straight sessions, 6 out of the last 8, and starts the new week down over 2% on the low. 75.35 was the low. That was down 2.35%. With a little bit of time left in the session, we're still down 1.93%. That's 75.67 at that price. The high today, 77.69, was only up about 0.7%. Since the July 5th rotational high, crude oil is now down 10.5%, and since the 2024 high, it's down 13.75%. That is a good size move lower. Saudi Aramco officially cut its selling price again for Asian-bound cargo. Asia by far is the largest demand hub for Saudi Arabia, for Iraq, for the United Arab Emirates, and that area seems to be going through the same demand weakness that Europe and the United States went through in the spring. And Aramco is responding by clamping down on market share with lower prices. And that reverberates all the way across the sort of crude oil spectrum, especially because what gets shipped to specifically China and India is the Arab version of the light sweet crude represented in the US by West Texas Intermediate Crude, or WTI, which is of course priced by the WTI futures contract. Also, dollar strength has some shifting correlations with crude oil that have been going on, and that explains a shift in fundamentals. Looking back at the correlation between the dollar and crude oil over the last 180 days, it was positive 73. But when looked at over the last 30 days, it's dropped to positive 26. So what that means is 73% of the time over the last 180 days, they moved in the same direction. But as you tighten that up over the last 30 days, 74% of the time, they moved in opposite directions. And this shift is explained by a potential slowdown in demand based on a slowing global economy. And if we have a slowing global economy, all central banks could start cutting. And if that happens, the US has the strongest economy, and it's much more likely that Europe, the UK, Canada, for example, cuts more aggressively, and thus the dollar would end up being stronger. So that brings weakness to the price of crude oil.